Welcome to the Shadow Archives, a fan-led talk show dedicated to Sara Samuel's world for the Blade of Shadows. I'm your host, Matt from Ohio, and today I am joined by my co-hosts from around the world, Sam from England, Louise from Denmark, Patrick from North Carolina, and the lovely Lisa from Northern Virginia.
Hi.
In last week's episode, Olivia was taken before the Emperor. She killed a bunch of dudes, was sent to live with some guy named Roman, and just generally tried to figure out how to be a 21st century chick living in 3rd century Rome. And in today's episode, Olivia and Roman resume their enemies to lovers struggle. They partake in the Emperor's way over the top birthday party and even encounter the darkness for the first time together. And we're reading and talking about chapters 14 through 21 of Timeborne. And with that, the archives are officially opened. And today, our story resumes very simply as 6 months have passed with Olivia slipping into some type of ancient Roman routine. And I think we're going to turn to Lou to talk about chapters 14 and 15.
Yeah. We're going to start with the one I named, the one where Olivia apologizes twice. This is what I'm calling episode 14, like it was an episode of Friends. So
That's right.
yeah. So this it starts out like Olivia is like telling us, okay, time is no longer linear. It's just cycles. She sleeps, she works, she cleans, she goes to the market, and she trains Anthony, and it's just the same over and over again. So we're like, okay, we understand you, we hear you, we know the feeling of just the same and the same and the same. But she still has this strong energy, and she's like, I'm not giving up. She's still fighting. So, and she's like, okay, she knows that Amara is actually her anchor, and just she's like, okay, Amara is so caring. She has this warmth that's just quite strange, and this is what's keeping Olivia going and not just giving up. Yeah. And then she's actually she's feeling a bit more comfortable in Rome. It's growing on her. She's like, okay, this is starting to become my home. And of course, she's been there for 6 months. So I'm like, okay, who wouldn't start like being like, okay, now I'm beginning to understand this is where I am. I can't just say no, 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 because it's not gonna work. Yeah, but she's still like, okay, I got this routine. I'm like training. I'm surviving. Yeah, stuff's going on, but not very much. She still, yeah, it's still like these 5 things she's got going on. She can't just be like do whatever she wants. And then the story takes take place. She's going to the market with Amara, and she's like, "Oh, there's a childbirth. I have to go. You have to go home to Rome, and you guys will have to figure it out by yourself." So this is really exciting. That's probably gonna end up very well because as we know from the previous chapters, these guys they get along so well. It's not like 2 children like misbehaving. No, not at all. And Amara is like, okay, and you have to give him this potion because otherwise he can't sleep. And Olivia is like, what? Okay, I'll do my best. And she goes home. She starts preparing the food, and she's like, oh my God, that makes. She starts thinking. She's missing her mom, of course. It's understandable. She's missing her dad. She's missing Lee. Well, she's missing everyone. And well, who wouldn't in her situation? And then, of course, Roman gets home and she cries, not because Roman this time, but because she's missing everyone. He's like, what is wrong with you? And this is just, you're just being like, why are you asking a woman this question? Well, why are you asking anyone this question? It's so dangerous. What do you expect them to laugh? But, well, they fight like normally. Their chemistry is just right there. We know it. We feel it. We're just there with them. And Roman is still being Roman. He's like, but I just want to help you. Please just let me help you. And yeah, I just sat down. I was like, Olivia, just look at this great guy you found. But well,
Wow.
yeah, you found him without even looking. Well, we are trying. I'm trying to find one. I didn't find one after 30 years, and well, you weren't even looking. But
That's
you know,
right.
guys, I didn't try time traveling. Maybe that's where I went wrong.
That's
Maybe.
right.
Yeah. But then, well, you know, they fight. She throws a knife at him. He catches it midair. Of course. What else? What would you guys do? You know? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. And then she actually apologizes. Oh, uh, and then they fight a little bit more. And she actually apologizes again, which is why I wanted to call it the one where Olivia apologizes twice. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
very out of character of her.
Yeah, yeah. I think this tells us a lot about how she actually feels about him. He makes her realize that there's more to the world than just being mad and acting out, and well, she actually cares about him. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, okay, Olivia, yeah, Olivia, just tell me about yourself. I know nothing about you. I just want to know who you are so I can help you. Yeah, and then she actually unbends bed and she tells him about her father and Tristan. And of course, he has a lot of questions because, well, where she comes from, the world is different, and she lives with a man she's not married to, and they're going a bit back and forth. And she tells him kind of everything, but of course not everything. And he's like, okay, you know, if you kill Tristan, then Roman says your father will still be gone. Vengeance won't heal the wound in your heart. It won't bring him back. It will only leave you with emptiness. You might kill Tristan, but the grief, the pain, it won't leave you. And I just thought it was so beautiful because it's so human, you know, to want to act out because you're hurt, you're sad, someone just did something they were not supposed to, and you want to get back at them. And there's this strong, wonderful man just telling you, well, I hear you, I see you, and I actually just want to save you. I want to take this burden away from you. And Roman tells her, well, he actually wants to kill Tristan, so she doesn't have to bear the pain. She doesn't have to kind of ruin her soul. And well, this just shows us who Roman really is. He is just this
I love Roman.
wonderful man. Yeah. Yeah. And then she actually apologizes for it the third time. And, you know, guys, I was just like, oh, I was almost clapping while reading this because she grew. She grew so much in these chapters.
Thank God. She was so
Yeah.
irritating before.
Yes. But of course, we always need space to grow. And if they don't act not bad, but if they don't act in a kind of wrong way, there's no place for them to grow. So
Truth.
this is actually how Olivia is growing into being a bigger person chapters, and I love this. And then at the end, she goes to Roman's room and she cleans his wound after he caught the knife midair, and of course he was hurt. Yeah. And then yeah, she just goes back to her own room and she's like, okay, I have to get away from this. How do I get away? So yeah, I love these chapters because we experience her growth. I thought it was wonderful.
Me too.
We just had this like she was being a teenager, and now she's just starting to realize, okay, I have to act adult. And this
Yeah.
it actually made me think, how do you guys think? You know, how long do you think you guys would have to be there before you were like, okay, this is where I am. I have to stay here. I have to start living like I'm supposed to stay here. Do you think it would take 6 months? Do you think it would take less? Do you think it would take more time? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it would take a while, but I
Yeah,
definitely wouldn't be picking fights with people.
yeah,
Part of me is saying like maybe I would conform a bit sooner, but then the other half of me is like, nah, fuck it. Let's just have some.
1 week.
1
1 week,
week.
and I'd be like, oh crap.
This is my home. There's no going back. I'm just staying here.
But if Roman was an option, maybe a little bit longer.
Mhm.
Like, oh no,
Yeah.
I
I
have
can
no
thought
idea how
it
to
was very
travel
difficult.
home.
I mean, I suppose if I was more like Roman and I was just fending for myself on the streets,
I'm just taking.
I might be railing against the idea that I'm living here for longer. But if I'm a pretty girl and I am given a lovely home that has a housekeeper in it
Yeah,
and a
a
very sexy
wonderful
man with
housekeeper.
beautiful abs, I'd be like, I'm
No
here now. I'm good.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Come
good.
on, Brad.
I like who would
21st century
oppose to
food?
Amara? Like who would oppose to being with Amara? She's just wonderful. I think I would be like, okay, I'm staying here. You're just so wonderful. I'm just staying here. But I think I was trying to figure it out, and I'm like, how are we gonna know? It depends on so much. But I think that if it was the real world, we'd be like, okay, I'm never going home. I thought I would just panic, and then I would be like, oh my god, I can't just run around and be like, like a chicken without a head. So
Yeah.
I'm also. I don't think it would take me 6 months. I think it would take less, but it would definitely take more than a few weeks. But I don't know exactly if it was like 1 month or two, but more than 2 weeks and less than 6 months would be my answer.
I think I would have a total carpe diem overhaul because with all of the 21st century knowledge, I'd be like, shit, I'm in ancient Rome.
Oh my god,
I'm
this is
going to
gonna happen.
die next week from syphilis, even though I'm not getting any. Somehow I'm going to get syphilis and die. I might as well just make every day the best I can possibly have. I'm here. Let's go.
That's right. That's right.
But I think,
Can't sanitize my hands. Can you imagine what would happen? Like if it was 2020 again and we can't wash
oh
our
my
hands?
god,
Like that's essentially what life would be like. And Sam brought up a really good
Exactly.
question about, and I feel like, with the whole like, you go back to ancient Rome and you're a female with menstruation cycles and whatever. I feel like wouldn't that like help you come to the conclusion that like, oh shit, I'm here. I might as well be here. Like a lot faster. Like you're like, say 28 days into your stay in Rome and that happens, and you're like, oh, this is real. Oh boy.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Where's
Where's the
the
I don't
CVS?
know, just like, when you're thinking about it in the whole book and stuff, and it's like, we obviously know other things happen later down the line, but it's like, what would you do? How would you sort yourself out?
yeah,
Like, obviously being a 21st century person and suddenly being transported back where you've got nought but a
yeah.
loincloth, like, to sort
You're
yourself
gonna
out.
switch it once every half hour.
Ugh. Just hearing people
And
walking
how
down the
awful
street.
is it that Olivia's entire wardrobe just seems to be white?
Yes,
Yeah.
white.
The Megan
So
Fox.
like
of the-
she's either gonna turn that pink or it's gonna turn into like a wet t-shirt contest because she's constantly running away in the rain.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Like
dramatic.
crazy. I can't remember what movie it is. It's the TV show Friends, where Ross and Ross is teaching Rachel how to do laundry, and she like leaves a single pink sock in the entire white
Yes.
load.
Oh, no,
And she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, everything looks like jammies now." I can only imagine
Yeah,
that something like that is going to happen.
yeah.
And how would Roman
Okay.
look in a pink loincloth?
A pink I think it's
Who
just his
put this in the
color.
laundry?
They'll
Well,
just
he's
practice
man
in
enough
a
to
pink
bad.
one.
He's man enough.
I don't care what color it is.
Yeah, he's man enough to wear everything.
See, I
Look
would
at
turn
Lisa
around
being
and
all
say he's not
progressive.
wearing a loincloth, but
He can just not wear one. That's gonna work.
yeah,
too.
it's just, it would look so much better on
Also,
the
I'm
floor.
just going
It's
to throw it
fine.
out there since we're talking about
Yeah.
loincloth. I don't remember which chapter it is exactly. 19 maybe. He pulls a gun out of his loincloth.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
gonna bring this up when we get to the
Yeah.
chapter.
I was.
So
I was
how
like,
big is this
How big is
loincloth?
a loincloth?
Yeah.
Did he like
Wow.
grab it and then there was like a pocket or whatever? I think we
How
can talk
big's a
about that when we
loincloth?
get
Are
to
you
the
gonna
chapter.
tie a gun?
Would you want a gun that close to your loincloth?
No.
Underneath the
No.
loincloth?
I'm just getting this image that it's more like a turban.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
But where is
Here's
it?
my
Where would you
yeah.
store it? Like,
Here's
I swear
just
to
yeah.
God, the loincloth is like a nappy. Are you like tucking like a drag queen where you just sort of like slot it,
Yeah.
just tuck it in?
It's a very modern kind of loincloth, perhaps.
With a
It
pocket.
depends.
It's got pockets.
Or maybe
my
Patrick
loincloth,
and
it's
Lisa
got
get this.
pockets.
Yeah.
It's more like an oops, I crapped my pants.
Yeah.
Well,
Sure.
then just put some toilet paper into those loincloths as well. If
Maybe
you
he
got a
kept
gun,
the
you
gun.
probably got some toilet paper.
Would you put
Maybe he
the
kept the gun in
behind
the
you?
back of his loincloth.
Yeah. Would you put it in the
Yeah,
back?
you
Would
know,
you
like
pull it out
yeah.
like out between the butt cheeks?
Because the gun would be
Oh
very
well.
dangerous.
Wait a second. Oh no, it's stuck.
wait.
Wait a second.
But if it's in the back of his loincloth, wouldn't we think that if it's just like tied around your waist and you have to have that extra room for the gun, that you take the gun out and now it's too loose and it just falls off?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Maybe
Or
that's
you
an
just
improvement. I don't know.
Or you're just fighting
Yeah.
to get the gun out and it looks like you're picking a wedgie. Like, wait, hold on. I got it.
You're poking me. No, that's just my gun. That's just my well, I can't tell you what it is because I can't
Sure, it's your gun.
reveal
Sure,
everything
it's your
yet.
gun.
Yeah. Well, you guys then actually had another question.
Okay.
How would you guys react to the very dangerous question, what is wrong with you?
Oh man, gosh, that
Hold
one
on.
set me
Which
off.
which one is it? The one where she's crying or the one after she throws the knife at him? Because he asks it twice.
Yeah, actually both.
Okay.
From
God
Because it's not
forbid
the-
a
it's-
man
it's not
shows
the
any
same
interest in their
answer.
emotions.
from
For
a
me, it's
female
not the
point of
same
view
answer.
or a
Hell
male
yeah.
point of view?
When she's
Because,
crying, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, what's wrong with you? In a nice way. But I'm sure that after she threw the knife, he's like, what is wrong with you?
I actually think my answer would be nothing. So both of them. And
This,
in a very aggressive way.
My
this is
answer would
also
be,
why
I'm
that
so
question came up
frustrated.
in the week asking about maybe this is where she's like on her period because it's like the danger zone. Do you ask that question if she's premenstrual or do you just let it
Yeah.
slide? Do you go,
Yeah.
well, what's wrong with you? For them to turn around and be like, nothing is wrong. I'm fucking fine. Or do you just kind of like,
Yeah.
just let it go?
I think after everything we've been through, I just imagine her just screaming into his face, nothing is wrong. What is wrong with you? This is what I actually imagine. After we had all her breakdowns and she was so angry with him. And
If it
then
was
she's actually kind of calm.
If it was me, I'd have screamed, nothing, I'm fine, slam the door
Yeah.
and run off. And then like
Yes.
throw
Run
myself
off,
on the
of course.
bed.
Yes. Of course, run off.
Crying
This
in my
is the one
pillow.
time she doesn't run off.
I know.
Yeah, if she doesn't run off, she throws a knife instead.
Yeah, that's much better.
Like a sane person.
I mean,
Well,
to
nothing
be honest,
happened. He just
What's
catches
wrong with
it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Well, he
that
doesn't
catch
second,
it
what
well.
the
What
hell
was
is wrong with you? After he catches a knife midair
Yeah.
by the blade, which can anybody say hello 25 stitches on my palm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Why doesn't he just
I
duck?
have an annotation on my phone, and it literally just says valid question.
Totally valid question at that
Yes,
point.
I think. Yeah, at that point it's a valid
What's
question.
up?
And I was like,
What's
why
wrong?
doesn't he just duck? Well, if you duck, it's just gonna hit the wall. Why are you catching it? But I'm thinking, yeah, that was actually my third question.
Part of
Why
me
do you guys
thinks-
think he's catching the knife?
Part of
'Cause
me
me,
thinks
Roman,
it's because he
me
was
bad.
trying to be, yeah,
Yeah,
trying to be like this big bad guy, being like, you want to try it? Got it.
me, Tata, and you, Jane.
Yeah.
What? What you got?
Because he's a redneck, and rednecks like shiny stuff.
And you can't just let it hit the wall and you just go to pick it up.
But doesn't after he catches the knife, does he not pick up the bowl of
Yeah, then he just throws it at the
and then
other
throws
wall.
the bowl and then be like, pick
It's
it up
like,
now.
whoop, away you
Pick
go.
it up.
Off you go.
at this point, I was just screaming, "Just fuck already!" Because like, surely that would have just calmed everything down.
So do you guys have a habit of throwing knives at people when you're just like fighting? Because I've never tried it.
Well,
Never tried it.
I have, but you know, that's from a chef's point of view.
Yeah, you
you're a
went in
chef.
a kitchen.
I mean,
I think
Of
I
course
found
you have.
a little bit of an Easter egg. I think it's
Yeah.
when Olivia is doing her therapy bit in chapter 15, there's a line that says, "His touch, though brief, lingered on my skin like an uninvited memory,
mhm.
fueling the swirl of emotions
Yeah.
inside me." And I wrote, "It's literally an uninvited memory."
Yeah. I actually marked it in my chapter as well. I marked
Yeah.
it.
But I did want to ask you all one question from this. There's in chapter 14, actually in both of the chapters, Olivia cries a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
And
makes so much sense.
I wrote down, she's probably one of those annoying girls that gets prettier when she cries. What do we think? Is Olivia one of those pretty criers?
No.
Yes, of course she is. Of course
No.
she is.
Dainty.
To Roman she is.
She's
Well,
gonna
to
be one of
Roman
those
she
girls that
is,
cries
To
diamonds.
Roman she is.
Yeah,
She's
I
gonna
could see
cry
her
diamond
being
tears and
a tissue, you know.
No, I think she's
Yeah.
being a total wreck.
But I think
with like
yeah, she might be
Thought
a wreck, but I
bubbles.
still think Roman sees her as much prettier because it's like, okay, now she's being her. Now she's showing me emotion. She's showing me her vulnerability. She's being her. So I think to him, she is. I know that wasn't the question.
True, but yeah. I'm
I'd
glad she got
love
it
to
out of her
think that
system.
I'd love to believe Lisa and think that Olivia is just an ugly, snotty crier.
I
But
was gonna say she's gonna have
Well-
snot bubbles and like dribble.
Well, at least she's not wearing mascara that isn't crying proof because, well, she hasn't been putting anything on, I'm guessing.
So I got a quick question because going back because in my my notes when Olivia or no, I'm sorry, when Amara came back, it was just talking about now I need to rest, take care of the household while I recover. Don't let it fall into ruin. Do you think that's a callback to possibly Solaris? Because she knows who Olivia is? Because she's trying to put her and Roman together.
Yeah.
You know,
And
hey,
she
y'all need because she's really pushing. In fact, in one of my chapters, she really pushes Roman pretty hard to make it happen. But that's just it. It was just when I read that, don't let it fall into ruin. It's almost like, hey, we've been here before.
Yeah.
Don't do anything stupid. So I don't know. That was one thing that just kind of came out.
That's a good
And then
point. That's a good point.
And then all
Yeah.
the
that's a good
times where
catch. I didn't read that one.
times seemed to stretch. I'm moving. It felt like inevitable the pull of gravity. Just several mentions of that in chapter 14.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
Actually,
there, some kind of a pull, some kind of they just couldn't quite understand it. But the thing that really stuck out with me with that chapter was the don't let it fall into ruin. Stupid.
it makes sense. She's like,
But-
oh my gosh, you guys are a potential for disaster. I'm gonna try
You guys are
and
supposed
see
to
if
be
I can just say something to stop this.
You're
This
supposed to be
time.
together. Come on.
To
Yes,
me,
but
it
just
almost
behave it.
like
Stupid.
I don't know if Amara means it that way, but I would bet my left kidney that Sarah Samuels means it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The chapter comes to an end with Olivia bringing Roman the weed he needs to go to sleep without any bad dreams. And
Yeah.
with that, we switch over to Roman's brain as he readies for another night of trauma. And so, Lisa, would you like to tell us about that?
Yes, I love being in Roman's brain. Okay. I love being in Roman's loincloth. I mean his brain. Okay, chapter 16.
Be careful of the gun.
Right. So
Oh, no,
Roman, he does fall asleep. We come across him having a nightmare about being in the arena fighting his enemies. He's shouting out and sweating and horrified. And then he hears yelling. And it's Olivia yelling his name and shaking him to wake up. But all he sees are his enemies. He's not, so his hand gripped her neck and squeezed. So she did the only thing she could do, and she bit him. And he released her. It worked. But he was tormented because he thought, God, I could have killed her. He yelled at her because she was in his room. What are you doing in my quarters or my room? But it was probably more because he was scared about the fact that he could have killed her and that she had seen him like that. She touched his arm gently. She touches him a lot in this chapter.
Who wouldn't?
And
Get ready for future chapters.
he likes it. But she touches his arm, or she touches his chest, or she
Yeah.
touches his scars. Nothing like that. Just enough to drive the man insane. Okay.
Do we have an
So
application?
she touches his arm gently to calm him down and comfort him, but he jerks away from her and rolls over because, frankly, he was overcome by her touch and how strongly it affected him. She asked him if he wanted to talk about his nightmares, but he told her to leave them alone and if he wanted to talk, and that his nightmares would haunt him till the day he died. So she really wants to know. She reminds him, I shared my pain with you, and so you could do the same with me. Feel
Quid pro
comfortable.
quo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he thought about how dangerous Olivia was to him because she held power over him that he had never allowed anybody before in his life. So he was afraid of her seeing beneath his armor. He didn't want to be weak in front of her, and he didn't want her to see his darkness. He also was afraid of how he reacted to her touch because she kept touching him. She had such power over him. He noticed every curve and line of her, whether it be her neck, her wrist, or other things. He finally admitted that he felt like he was buried alive, and she touched him to comfort him again. But that was too much for him. He was so tormented by his nightmares and by her closeness. He told her to go away and leave him alone. She responded by saying, "What if I don't?" Well, his body reacted instantly to that, and he was
Horny boy.
desperate for her. Lot of sexual tension here. What if I don't? Okay. They both remained still and quiet for a while. Then Roman rolled onto his back and he gently patted the mattress next to him. So she slid onto the bed next to him, but not touching. However, he could feel heat radiating from her and her
I bet he could.
eyes and her eyes on his face. He was just laying there looking up at the ceiling, but he could feel her eyes on him and he could feel her heat into his bones.
And if I might
He was
insert
in
for a
heat.
second,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sarah Samuels left something very key off of the page here. We all know that Roman's pitching a tent with that bedding, right? If he's laying on his back.
Oh, totally. He
Mhm.
turned when he,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he
Oh,
turned
yeah.
totally over the first time, and then he finally laid on his back when he got it
Yep.
under control and patted the bed next to him. So he felt very vulnerable, but he finally told her that he would talk to her about everything. So here comes the info dump. He told her that when he arrived in Rome when he was 21, he tried to make an honest living, but the pay was not enough to survive. So he stole enough food and scraps for each day. which was basically petty theft. But he was arrested and thrown in a cell for it. Now, this was no ordinary cell. The conditions were horrific, crowded, standing room only, filthy, unsanitary, no light, no air. Everyone went to the bathroom on the cell floor. When someone died in the cell, the rats would feed on them for days before they were removed. The prisoners fought every day for food, water, space. There were boys there younger than Anthony. Roman told Olivia that the guards saw the way he fought in the cell to survive, so they offered him to get out of there. They said that if he fought in the arena that way for entertainment, he would have a chance for freedom instead. So instead of dying in that cell, he took the guards up on their offer. His first opponent was Marsilius, who beat him very badly, broke ribs, just all kinds of terrible. He was in bad shape and he was out of shape. So Amara's husband Gaius was the one who dragged him out of there back to the barracks and helped him heal. Even though Roman was thinking at the time he wanted to die, he just wanted to die. He just wanted to die. And when he told Olivia that, Olivia reminded him that he didn't die. You know, he's here. They were still close on the bed, and it was torture for Roman. He told her that Gaius trained him with every weapon, and eventually he could fight opponents twice his size and strength. He was scarred, and he had brands on his body from all of his kills. Olivia traced them softly. He was longing for her. He told her he had to swear allegiance to the emperor and became his weapon. Olivia had her hand on his chest, and he loved it, but at the same time, it was also torture. She was breaking through his walls. He felt her heat through his bones, and he wanted to surrender to her. Then he told her about his friend Marcus, who became like a brother to him. They protected each other and fought hard so they could earn their freedom and live far away from Rome by pleasing the emperor. Marsilius was jealous of Roman and Marcus because of their success and their camaraderie and their favor with the emperor. Roman had one more match to win his freedom. So Marsilius, as Marsilius would do, convinced the emperor to have Roman fight Marcus. And you know it's a fight to the death. So to earn his freedom, he would have to kill his best friend. Olivia said to him, "Oh my God, Roman," horrified. And then Roman, I thought this was funny, Roman asked her who this god she invoked, because he had not heard this expression. So she told him it was just an expression from, like where she was from. It's not from around there. She's still trying to cover, even though he probably knows what happened. Roman told Olivia that he refused the emperor and wouldn't fight Marcus, so the emperor threatened him with worse. Marcus insisted they fight so Roman could have his freedom. He only asked Roman to care for his son when he died. Marcus left himself open because he wanted Roman to win. When Roman won, the emperor said that Roman was too dangerous to be free, so he would be one of the emperor's guards. So Roman didn't get his freedom, but in a way he did. But it was a double-edged sword. So he had to be tied to the emperor still and could not leave Rome. Roman told Olivia that he won his freedom, but he lost everything that mattered. She continued comforting him. When she reached out and touched him, he longed for her fiercely. Roman had told, so this whole time they're having this conversation, I mean, she keeps touching him and stroking him, and he's thinking, this is killing me. I love it, but it's killing me. But then he keeps talking to her. It's also
God, I
helping him
love it.
open up to her too, though. It's making him feel
I do
vulnerable.
I do find
What?
it a little bit weird that Olivia's getting Ladywood over Roman's trauma.
Yeah.
I don't think she's getting
This whole
Ladywood.
time.
I think she really is trying to comfort him, even though it's probably arousing her too. But I think she's comforting him and wanting him to feel like, keep talking, keep telling me, get it out. So,
I think two things can be true.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, Roman had killed Marcus, and he had to face his son and tell him that his father was dead. Marcellius claimed Marcus's wife as a lover. Ew. God, that guy. Roman told Olivia that he had never confided what he shared with her to anyone else before. He told her
She's
that his
special.
family had been torn from him, even his twin brother, who he never saw again. Olivia asked Roman if he and his twin brother looked alike, and he said that they hadn't looked alike. Roman told her he wanted her to understand what a monster he was. Roman is saying that he himself is a monster, and he wants Olivia to realize, I'm a monster. She continued to comfort him, and his desire for her was unbearable. Roman admitted he knew she had been training Anthony. Olivia tried to explain that Anthony could now protect himself and his mother. Roman was drawn to her determination and wanted to kiss her. He praised her for helping Anthony and told her she was a skilled fighter. Then he told her he wanted them to train together, and she was really happy about learning from such a skilled warrior and also with being with him. They still lay next to each other. Roman was so tempted to reach out for her. She fell asleep, and he carried her to her bed. Roman thought about the emotional intimacy they shared and that he would willingly surrender and risk everything to taste the forbidden fire between them. And that's how it ended. So, I mean, this total thing it was like emotional intimacy 100%, but it was also physical, like torture. And I mean, it's like they made love without making love. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure, yeah.
My thing still stands. I reckon Roman's a virgin because he doesn't know what to do with her. And she's all there like,
No,
oh, Roman, oh, you can talk to me and tell me anything. And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm just gonna roll over and just
he did
wallow
not
in my
say
titty.
any
And
such thing.
It's a one-way street.
No,
We
also
have to
the tape,
remember he's a very chaste gentleman from the late 1700s.
but he was
Carrying
offered
a
a
gun
woman and
in
he
his
turned around and
loincloth.
said, no, thank you.
I think he also didn't want to break the moment, but I think what happened was
No.
when he was finally ready and he was ready to kiss her, like he felt like he wanted to kiss her, she had fallen asleep. So I
She
think
Yeah.
seems
what
to
she
do
did
that a
right
lot on
away,
him. She
I
fell
would have,
asleep on the
first of all,
horse.
if I were
She fell
her,
asleep on
I
him.
would have never fallen asleep. And
This is
second of
my
all,
point.
I mean, he just said, okay, well, there'll be another day I can kiss her, maybe while we're fighting.
Look at Roman being all gentlemanly and modern with his needing of consent and stuff. Such a
That's
nice
right.
guy.
And Olivia, who
Yeah.
doesn't care, because she was just like, I'm just going to keep touching you without asking you if it's okay.
Well, I think it was okay with him. I think she could read the room. I thought it was a beautiful thing. I really did.
Yes.
I love that chapter.
He shares at least 200% more than she shares.
I
Yes,
agree.
definitely.
But
I
part
think
of
the
her issue, she can't tell him because then she would have to reveal everything like I'm from the future, you know.
But I think the reason why he shares so much is obviously because he knows who she is or what she is.
Well, we
And
find
I
that
think
out, not yet, but we find
for
that out.
making
Yeah.
for making her feel a little bit more at ease, he like
Yes,
he info dumps and goes, yeah, here, have everything that I have on me. Feel free to share. You know,
that's right.
let
But
it be your thoughts.
I also think that he is already in love with her. He admires her.
Clearly.
He admires her strength. He loves that she's independent. He loves that she's feisty. He loves everything about her. And even that she thought he'd be angry that she helped Anthony, but he loves that about her too. And he just the fact that he notices the curve of her neck, the curve of her wrist. I mean, that's not sexual. That's like he's just
Yes, it is.
noticing. Well, no, what I mean is it's not like sexual in the way like, oh, look at that wrist. I'm gonna fuck the hell out of her. I mean, it was like it was
Well, it
more
depends.
I want to make love to her. Like she's everything about her just draws me to her.
But isn't
I'll
it
tell you
something that
what, my significant other the other year had her thyroid taken out,
Mm-hmm.
which is in your neck for anybody that's not anatomically
Yes.
up on the thyroid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she has not had a working thyroid since she was like 11 years old, and it's just like huge and
Oh,
whatever. Anyway,
poor
the point I'm
thing.
trying to make is her neck is like half the size that it used to be, but I never ever thought of it as large. And
Right.
now that the thyroid is gone, like at least once a week, I get caught staring at her neck, and I'm like, God, your neck is so slender. Like what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say, Lisa, is noticing the curve of somebody's neck. It is
Intimate.
romantically sexual. It might
No,
not be.
I agree. I agree. He just wants to eat her up. I know.
Yeah, he
also
does. You know,
talking
I'm
about?
just saying that it's not like I'm
But
gonna,
talking
you
about
know.
necks, he he cho- he
oh
chokes her
shit! What a
Do you
out.
have
segue.
Okay.
bangs? Anyone have bangs? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but he chokes her out. He puts his hands around her throat when he's coming out of the dream.
She
I
likes
know,
it.
but
So
that's because he
Yeah.
thought she was the enemy. He wasn't
Yeah.
out of his dream yet.
fair, but I reckon she enjoyed it.
But she didn't
Sorry.
freak out about it though.
Yeah, she didn't go,
She's
oh my
like,
god, get
oh,
off.
okay.
It's like, oh yeah, okay, fine.
Okay.
Well, that was traumatic for him. That wasn't sexual. Now, if there's another part in the book where he grabs her by the neck and
And then
slams
says,
her
"You're
against the
mine.
wall, you know, that could be a different story.
You're mine." Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'll
will say
burn
that
the world out.
you pointed it out, Lisa, the like, who is this god you invoke? I found that to be really, really odd because I'm like, surely a very similar phrase existed in the second half of the
I don't.
1700s in London.
I
And
don't
so
think
I
so.
went and I tried to research this, and sure enough, "Oh God" and "Good God" were phrases in constant use
So
in
he's just
You
England.
know,
staying in
maybe he
character.
was
He's
just
just staying in
teasing.
character.
Maybe he was just teasing or like, trying to he
But
already knows that
he
she's
doesn't know he's from them. He's just staying in character.
yeah, he is.
I don't think Rome had anything similar. I don't know, but I don't imagine.
They were a very pagan society,
Maybe,
so
maybe it was like, oh, Gladiator. I don't even know if that term was invented yet.
oh Caesar.
Yeah, yeah. I don't.
And
The
did
only thing
anybody
that
else
I
catch the Russell Crowe Gladiator moment
Yes,
in
the
Roman?
movie. I was like, okay, I'm going home and watching the movie after reading this.
It's where I threw my sword into the sand and screamed at Marcellus standing smugly beside the emperor. Are you happy now? Is this what you wanted? Are you not
Are you
entertained?
not entertained?
Yes,
I know. Yeah.
yes.
There
I
were
actually
so
thought we
many
should.
quotes I wanted to quote, but I was like, I
Roman,
can't even picture.
Roman.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was while reading, I was just thinking we should all just watch Gladiator and then talk about that in comparison to this.
That's
I'm
right.
just gonna throw it out
Un-
there. I've never seen Gladiator.
Oh, you missed out.
Oh,
You missed out. You missed
oh.
out. You really missed out. You've got
All right,
something good to
Sam.
look
That's
forward to.
If I'm
Or
gonna go
anything like
watch The
I
Way
Am
Home, you must
Sparta,
watch A Beautiful Mind, and you have to
300.
watch
Yes.
Gladiator.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
write this.
when we all meeting up, we are gonna watch these movies.
Hell yeah.
You're all
Good. She's
invited to
taking
my
notes.
house to watch it.
Yeah,
Taking notes.
I'll be there.
Okay.
We'll have
I
a
have one question
sleepover.
for everybody.
Mm.
All right. Do we think that Roman lied at all in this story outside of how he got to Rome?
No.
I think he like the way when he says, "Who is this God you invoke?" or when he says, I don't think he lied about his life at all. I think he was completely honest with her, but the fact that he's pretending not to know she's a time traveler is a liable mission.
I think
It's
that
adjusting.
My mother
he's
loves that
just told
phrase.
her the truth that he wants her to know. Like he hasn't exactly lied, but he has omitted like quite a large chunk of him.
But what exactly? So I keep coming back to this because it's going to become very important in a couple of chapters when Olivia gets super irate. I just want to know, like, what other than he time traveled out of his control, by the way, it was all Moon Lee, right? He time traveled to ancient Rome. Other than that detail, what in this story did he omit?
I don't think he omitted anything.
Yeah.
I think he was completely vulnerable with her.
Well, no, because the whole purpose of him time traveling with Moon Lee and stuff was for him to go and look for his brother. So he hadn't mentioned anything about the reason why he was going there. He just said that he had a twin. The whole reason he left in the first place was because he was looking for his twin. Because he found out that his brother, well, firstly, that he had a brother that hadn't died in birth. But then that he was trying to time travel to find the brother. And that's why he got taken to ancient Rome. Or have I got it wrong? I'm pretty sure.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
No,
you're
you're right. Yeah.
So what he lied about or what he omitted is how he got to Rome and why he's in Rome.
Yeah.
But like otherwise, just essentially saying, I came to Rome and then this is what happened is all true. Do we
Yeah, he
agree on all
came to
that?
Rome when he was 21 and everything that happened.
Well, yeah, because
Right on.
Lazarus had to
But
hook
it's
him up, had to train
but
him.
it's basically the same thing as Olivia though, because she's not exactly told the truth. She's just told them what he wants, like what they need to know. I'm from a far off place, like north of here, which is like
Yeah.
not
And
100%
burned
the lie,
down.
you know. And in
I'm
my
not hoping it
village,
burned
in my
down.
village, this happened, and you know, then people are no longer there. She hasn't exactly lied. She just hasn't necessarily given them the information that they need.
No.
Well, I will say,
Well, one of the things
I think the
sorry.
things that Roman omitted weren't directly a part of his story, right? They were like contextual explanation to the story,
Mhm.
but they didn't actually help the plot of his story. Whereas the stuff that Olivia omits is directly inside of the story right? The
Mhm.
story is completely different without those details that she tells him.
Exactly.
And according to my mother, lying by omission is so much more of a worse sin than just lying outright. And I
Why?
know that from my entire childhood. Hmm.
Why?
There was one line in it, and it said uh, it was Roman describing how he was watching Olivia from the shadows training Anthony.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
it was just the shadows thing.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Is
he
it the
watched her. He saw her.
my shoulders shook and I felt the shadows closing in again, whispers of madness taunting me from the corners of the room. That's
Oh,
one of
it
the
wasn't that one.
shadow
I
things
had
that
that
I
one,
have.
but it wasn't
Gotta
that one.
watch.
Not that one. Okay.
It was that each late afternoon from the shadows I observed her training Anthony, secretly drinking in every graceful movement, every fierce strike, mesmerized by the effortless
Oh
way she
yeah.
fought. I admired her skills and determination, and above all, the fire that drove her.
He's got it bad. He loves her.
Definitely.
Hey
I don't
man,
know
women
how
will do
though.
that
If
to you.
somebody was that like attacking and like just not conforming to what you're asking, not necessarily asking them to do, but like to say this is the world we live in, this is how you should act, and she's just like, no, like I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I think that Olivia is pretty bi you know what, and
Mhm.
that would be really hard to be attracted to, despite how gorgeous and independent and strong she is.
It does
Oh,
make me
for
think
sure.
of the 10 Things I Hate About You, and the
Yeah.
Oh, Cat, yeah.
yeah, Kat being
Yes.
the way she is, and the guy being
So
like,
much.
no, 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 I'm only doing it for like the money, and then all of a sudden being like, oh my god,
But think of it this way. If he knows that she is a time traveler, he
Yeah.
knows she's undergoing a lot of stress
mm.
because she is like thrown in the middle of this. Good God, what's going on here? I'm in the middle of ancient Rome. So, I mean, a lot of it is stress and, needing to conform to what she's not used to. But I think when he sees her being tender with him and being there for him, he sees another side of her that, you know,
Can I
Yeah.
ask a
will.
question?
I guess I need to get my mind wrapped around I always forget this. I always want Roman to be like real, but we are reading a romantasy, and Roman is like a fantasized man who's just perfect and vulnerable and understanding and empathetic and just amazing.
Can I
Yeah.
ask a question
Fantasy.
about the whole Roman thing? Obviously, he knows that Olivia's a time traveler, or might be some form of like time travel thing. Um, why do you think it took him so long to like try and help her understand? Because surely it would have made more sense for him to be like, "Hey, like, I know what you are. I can help you," rather than this whole like,
Because there
"You're in
wouldn't be a
ancient Rome. You
story
have
or
to do what you."
tension.
Yeah, and also she has
Yeah.
to be ready for it. If you are just arriving and yeah, it's perfect, I know who you are, you'll be like, yeah, oh my god, no, I'm not believing you.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's probably difficult to spook somebody whose natural inclination is to throw a knife at your face.
Right.
That,
Yeah.
She's gonna if
Believe
you're
me.
gonna coming at her, she's just gonna throw more knives.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Believe me,
know
I
you're
love
not there. I know you're from the future. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw more knives at you.
I mean, I love Olivia, but I can be realistic and say she is a little brat and a little bitch sometimes. But Roman, I adore. But that's because he's imaginary.
Yes,
This
but maybe
in
he also
this,
want. Yeah, go ahead, Sam.
I was gonna say in this whole bit, I've just had brat energy, like underlined
Yeah.
several times.
What energy?
Brat
Brat.
energy.
Oh,
Writing like
yeah.
a brat. Yeah.
Oh,
Charlie
yes.
XCX
Well, not
reference.
while
Yeah.
she's comforting him, though.
But I also think that Roman kind of wants her to come to him and not being like the driving factor. Maybe that's why he's not saying anything yet.
Mhm.
But
He
6
wants her to
months is a
feel safe
long
with
time
him because
to say
she
anything.
chooses to, and not because he forces her to.
Exactly.
The chapter ends as they fall asleep next to one another, as Lisa said, and Roman picking her up and carrying her back to her room. But then Olivia wakes up, and Sam
Uh-huh.
gets to tell us all about the morning after.
So this whole chapter is basically a how to almost kiss a gladiator. Olivia spends the entire day trying hard not to think about Roman, which naturally means all she thinks about is Roman.
Mhm.
Breakfast becomes a bit of a romantic battlefield. Amara then turns up and tries to turn into a one-woman matchmaking service, saying things like, "Oh, he would be so good to be a dad. You know, you two are so beautiful. Your beauty matches his handsome." Um, and then sword training somehow generates more sparks than an actual fire. Roman and Olivia spend the chapter staring dramatically at each other, nearly kissing, denying their feelings, then immediately staring some more. Meanwhile, poor Amara is juggling newborn babies, heartbreaking memories, and just overwhelming urge to shout, "Just kiss already." By the end of the chapter, Roman invites Olivia to the Emperor's birthday party because apparently a public appearance within the Emperor's eyes is a perfect date in ancient Rome.
Yeah, right?
Of
I would
course it is.
lay low.
What
Can we
else
all
would
just
you do?
applaud?
Yes,
That was a wonderful summation. Woo,
it
Sam!
really was. It was perfect.
So much like the last book, I have done a how to almost kiss a gladiator beginner's guide.
Oh, you
Um,
do? You
Yeah.
made a visual? Oh my God, love you.
I love this. I love everything
These are
about this.
great.
I'm gonna try and do one a
Make
book.
eye contact.
Pick a highlighted moment, one a book. So how to almost kiss a gladiator, beginner's guide, not guaranteed, high tensions may cause heart palpitations. Now, this
You
is
would
why I said
know.
chapter 17 was the thing,
Yes, you
because
would know.
currently I'm wearing a heart monitor to try and check the palpitations I'm having in my heart. And yeah, I had to sort of give myself at least a 24-hour break between this chapter and the next 3 chapters because I don't think I could have coped. It also says in brackets, possibly a clean stolar as well.
Yes.
So step-by-step instructions. Number 1, make eye contact a lot. Stare into those intense gladiator eyes until one of you looks away first. Bonus points if he looks away first, but he probably won't.
No.
Second point, accidentally touching only. Fingers brushing, electric. Handing over food, so dangerous. Pretending it didn't happen at all is essential. Talk about something else. Oh, did you sleep well? So, training tonight. Ah, yes, of course. Changing the subject every time the tension gets too real. Cowardly, yes, but effective also. Training to go together. Sweat, muscles, close proximity. Try not to think about his shirtless back. You will think about his shirtless back.
I don't know
Listen to
why,
their
Sam.
paths.
I don't know why, Sam, but this is so phallic to me. They're just crossing swords, you know?
Yes.
Crazy.
Well,
That
but
could
that's phallic in that's like guy on guy though.
Lady
So
Wood.
number
Yeah.
5, listen to their past carefully. Vulnerability makes the heart dangerous. Suddenly you want to heal his scars and ruin your own plans. Number 6, near kiss moments are key. Lean in and pause. Heavy breathing, then don't. Repeat until emotionally unstable.
Sam,
Yeah.
I got
Number
to stop you
7.
again. Can we all appreciate these headshots and the continuity?
Yes.
Big ones up
Yeah.
top.
Oh, totally.
Fantastic.
It's perfect.
Fantastic.
I love it.
right.
Number
Onward.
7. Blame it on the chemistry. It's not you, it's the chemistry. Or ancient Roman air. No, it's definitely ancient Roman air. Number 8. Run and then stay. Retreat to your bedroom, breathe, overthink, and return anyway, because you're only fooling yourself. Then there's bonus tips from Amara, because somebody needs to push these two together.
Of course.
Points are that they are perfect for each other, even if they don't see it. They need to stop overthinking and just kiss already. Very valid point in my mind.
Mhm.
If he's a good man, and he is, don't let him go. And then I'll always be watching. Success looks like flushed cheeks, stolen glances, racing hearts, and one very ruined stola.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe a kiss. Remember, you may be from another time, but your heart still knows exactly what it's doing. My favorite bit is right at the bottom. Once you finally kiss the gladiator, there is no turning back. Enjoy the ruin.
I love it.
This is just
Yay!
perfect.
You are awesome,
Beautiful.
Sam. So creative.
Very much so.
I love
So
that.
that was about chapter 17.
I get so stuck on the sweaty training montage.
I bet
But
you
on this
do.
particular reread, I couldn't help but notice that chapter 17 in specific. Okay, so you remember when we read Rise of the Shadow Lords, how when you reread it, you're just reading everything as like, this is Severin's grand plan. Chapter
Mhm.
17 is Amara's grand plan.
Yes.
That's how I read it. Everything she's doing is like trying to get Isabel and Armand back together.
Yes.
Like it's like Love is Blind Solaris edition. You know what I mean? That's chapter 17. That's
Mhm.
how I read all of it. But she does say two things that I want to get your guys' take on specifically. I want to ask you guys about John and Jack, her sons, and I want to ask you all about your thoughts on Theodora, her daughter. So, Olivia asks her, "Do you have kids?" And Amara like becomes all sad, and she's like, "Not anymore." And I'm just sitting here like, "Wait, hold on. What about your sons? We know those two fools are alive. Like, were they taken away from Amara? Why is
I
she all
thought
sad?"
there was a whole thing. I don't know if it's in this book or if it's in the second book, when they're looking for John James. That weren't they sent ahead? Because the pair of them were separated. So you had John James, who was sent to the Americas, and then you had Olivia's dad, who was obviously sent further forward. But they were separated. But I can't remember for love nor money why they were separated and why they were sent forward.
I can't remember either.
No, I
They
couldn't
were
either.
separated to be pawns on a chessboard to like
Yeah.
play the part in this grand opera that is unfolding through the series. I think that's
Um,
See, this is
literally
why
why
I'm
they
saying
were separated.
that Jack's a black horse, because there's more to him.
So is Amara sad just because her sons were taken away and put in different times and she doesn't have access to them?
But do you think she knows that, or do you think she thinks that they just died? Because it could be something similar to Roman and his twin, where they were like,
Marsilius.
he's dead. Yeah, where he's dead, and it was then he was then taken on by
Well,
the
he didn't
tribe.
say he was dead. He said they were separated. And the reason he brought that up was he wanted to relate to Olivia. Olivia had been separated from her family or whatever. Oh, I guess it was through death. And then
But
he was trying to
he
fix.
it's later on that they find out that his mum had the twins, and then one of the twins died, but it was actually another lady in the tribe whose baby died, and they gave Marcellus to the tribe, which is why Dancing Fire was it? No.
Okay, I'm not thinking ahead. I'm just talking about right now.
But
Yeah, that's why.
somebody then raised Marcellus, and then Roman was raised by his mum.
Yeah, they
So
got separated. That's all we
yeah.
know right now.
Okay, so maybe Amara literally doesn't know that John and Jack are good to go.
But we don't know how far she got to the future. Maybe she already lived the part where they died.
Oh, that's morbid as shit.
But then her daughter dies in ancient Rome, though. Because isn't
Does
that
she?
the one?
That's my question. But
But-
does she?
Yeah.
Because Olivia says what happened to her, and Amara draws a shuddering breath and says, she's with my husband now. But
Yeah.
we all, and I can guarantee you that Amara knows Lazarus is still
not dead.
alive.
I
Yeah.
know.
So-
So let's just talk about this book because I get so confused.
Yeah.
I want it to all
Is
come to
Theodora
light.
with Lazarus, who is still alive? Is Theodora actually dead? Is she?
I actually kind of thought she wasn't because I like, okay, he's not dead, so why should she be?
But then you've also got things like Alina, where you think she's dead for like 3 books, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
it's like, ta-da!
Hi. I'm here.
Hi, what did I
She's like a
miss?
Queen is back.
Alina, she's like a whack-a-mole. She's like, hi.
Patrick, what do you think about Theodora?
Considering we don't have anything from Theodora at all throughout most of the I mean, really, to be honest, throughout the entire series, outside of just a couple of mentions, I don't think there's enough for me to actually say whether or not she's alive or dead.
Agreed.
Yeah, there's just not enough. I mean, because I am literally like, I actually stopped, like I said, me and my colorful notes. I actually stopped reading so I could actually go to Sweet Venom of Time to literally dive into the birth of Roman and Marcellus, the fact that Amir and Dancing Fire at the time, not Moonlee, Moonlee, because later in the books where Roman tells everything and talks about how she fell in love with, Dancing Fire and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, wait a second. Hold on. Let me go back through and let me see and read that. So I'm right now going back through all of that, which is kind of interesting because even my wife was just like, "What are you reading now?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just doing cross referencing right now. So just be quiet. I'm good." She's like, "I thought you were reading this." I am. I have to stop and look at this. So for Theodora specifically, I there's just not enough for me to say whether or not she's alive, she's dead, she's somewhere in some time, or is she just in Solaris? And
My biggest
until Sara tells us, I mean, we're not gonna. I can ask her.
And she'll say
Read
yes
and find
or
out,
no.
Patrick.
I won't
I'll
tell
save
you.
a phone call.
You'll have to wait and see.
But my biggest thing
Sam,
is like, why put her in at all if she's not vital to the story?
then she may come out.
Well, that's just it. I think she is vital to the story, but it's going to be one of those at the very last minute. You're like, oh,
Yeah. Oh, there she was.
That's why she was mentioned. So, yeah, that's the only thing I can. That's the only thing that I can put together. Because I think I've asked Sara about her a couple times, and I never get anywhere. So I just kind of dropped it. I was like, oh, fine, whatever. Let me move on. Let me move on to other people.
You'll just have to wait and see. Ella, we'll just have to wait and see.
I do know that she does make a reappearance in the final book. That's all I got from Sara. But how she does it,
she's alive.
why,
Now we know.
yeah. But but where has she been this entire time? Has she played a part in any of the chess match that Lazarus is playing?
We don't know.
I
Hmm.
don't know. She could be one of the shadows. Who knows?
I think it was last episode we talked about, or maybe it was it was last one, and we talked about Roman having the moment where his soul recognizes Olivia's, and I think in chapter 17 is the first time that Olivia's soul reciprocates and recognizes Roman's or Armand's.
Yeah.
Um, Specifically, it says, as I reached out to hand him the plate, our fingers brushed briefly, innocently even. But the touch ignited an explosive warmth scorching straight through me. A startled gasp escaped my lips, and I looked up, caught by his penetrating gaze, which isn't the only thing that's never mind. In that fragile moment, in that fragile moment, everything faded except the aching intimacy between us. And I think that is the moment where Olivia's soul finally recognizes Roman's soul, and Isabel and Armand are now subconsciously recognizing one another reciprocally.
Yes.
And I don't know why Sara had to use the word penetrating to describe his gaze, but
Well, it's a strong word.
Roman asks Olivia to go on a date at the Emperor's birthday party. And the next thing we know, Olivia's getting glammed up for the red carpet. So, Sam, onward.
So, chapter 18 is basically Olivia getting the ultimate Roman makeover. Roman forgets how to function because Olivia looks amazing. And Emperor Severus proves once again that he is the world's worst party planner. When what starts out as a fancy dinner date, complete with wine, flirting, and enough romantic tension to power ancient Rome, quickly turns into surprise gladiator deathmatch. Roman gets tossed into an
Who
unfair
said that
fight.
one coming?
Roman gets tossed into an unfair fight dressed like he's heading to the beach, whilst Marcellia shows up looking like the medieval tank that he is. Olivia spends most of the fight alternating between cheering, panicking, and wanting to punch the Emperor. After surviving the chaos, Roman finally admits that he is hopelessly in love with Olivia after she runs away, because she runs away because she doesn't want to
Of course
become a
she does.
distraction to him.
As one does.
Yeah. And he comes to find her after to basically declare his undying love for her, which leads to a swoon-worthy moment that would make any fan of the book scream into a pillow. Unfortunately, just when things are heating up, a creepy, mysterious figure crashes the scene like the world's most dramatic third wheel. Classic timing, ending the chapter dramatically on a finish and left Roman with blue balls.
I'll tell you what, Roman's, I'll call it dirty talk, the lovely intimate things he says to Olivia when they're together, and it doesn't matter how they're together. They're so choice. Like, I think the one that I picked out the most here at the end of chapter 18 or whatever is, I want you, Olivia, every damn inch of you. And I just wrote a note. I bet she feels the exact same way.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
the
love
whole
it.
thing at the back of the conversation where I mean he's saying it all and she's just sort of standing there going, yep.
I think one thing that caught me as I was rereading it was that I barely registered, that Roman pulled out my seat for me, you know, and then Roman's hand stayed on mine despite their chatter, his thumb tracing calming circles that betrayed turmoil he tried to hide. It's very atypical for a Roman gladiator to pull the seat out for his date. I mean, it would be like, where'd you get that from? That is definitely not.
What are you doing?
Well, from his time in
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm
Yeah.
surprised that
right,
Olivia
right,
didn't pick
right,
up on
right.
like, wait a
These
second,
are the
hold on.
signs. Yeah.
Something's not quite right here. So
That's
He's
right.
just a good guy.
oh yeah, I'm sure.
The
But
the
I
thing
just
that
thought that was
confused
kind
me
of
about
interesting.
when you said about when he's questioning who the gods are, that she shouts for, and she said, "Oh my God." Um, both Amara and Roman use the terms gods in this uh chapter anyway, because Amara basically says, "I feel like the gods have gifted me a piece of her back through you," which is her about her daughter, saying that Olivia looks or sort of looks like her daughter. But then also Roman then says that she puts Venus to shame, which is another god.
I know, but he was confused. He was saying, which god are you invoking? Because he knows of many gods, but she's just saying, "Oh my God," because where she's from, supposedly there's one God.
He better get used to it. She's going to be screaming that a lot in the future, I
Uh-huh.
assume.
For reasons we don't know.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of cute how Roman basically was like, "No, enough fooling around now. I got to tell you, I love you." Or like,
I
"Was
like
you?"
It really reminds me of a lot of like high school scenes where the girl breaks down and is like, "I love you," and the high school boy's like, "Oh, okay," but in
yeah.
reverse.
Yeah.
That's great. I thought Sara did a lot of interesting descriptions with Marcellus in this chapter, with imagery about casting shadows and stepping out of shadows and being in shadow. Marcellus is constantly associated with the shadows.
'Cause he's
Um,
darkness.
yeah, I didn't. That's not something you catch on the first read through.
No.
Like in terms of being a darkness, you just think, oh, it's just imagery. She's trying to make us not like him.
Yeah.
The writer is trying to make us not like him, but like it's all because he's got the shadows in his blood from his dad. It's all
Well, I
interesting.
wanted to
Yeah.
ask the question. So, all Timeborns are from a Shadow Lord. Every
Mm.
Timeborn has one Shadow Lord parent.
Mm.
Do they? I thought it
Yeah.
was just the black hole
Yeah.
eclipse event that did it. I didn't think they needed to
I
have Shadow
don't
Lord
know.
parentage.
I didn't think either.
Every single one, because Alina's dad is the Shadow Lord. Is like one of the big bads, which then by fault means that Olivia's got a Shadow Lord in her.
Nope.
Lazarus
Matthias.
has.
No.
I thought Matthias was just a darkness. I don't think
Yes.
he's not a
Yeah.
shadow
I thought
lord.
he was a Shadow
Yeah.
Lord.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's just like Balthazar. Matthias and Balthazar are the same.
Yeah.
And then Alina was darkness, but she was made a timeborn. Because I think I remember reading that Salvatore made her a timeborn. Somehow I can't remember
No,
how.
I don't think. I think what Salvatore meant when he said that was like he was a part of the end of Rise of the Shadow Lords when they created the Timeborns. I don't think he meant he created her specifically. I mean, I think
Oh,
he
okay.
reincarnated her specifically.
Right. Yeah,
And I
he
think
did.
she's bad because he messed up the reincarnation ceremony. But I
Gotcha.
don't think she was a darkness. I think she's just a timeborn.
Well, we'll keep reading and find out again.
Yeah, we'll definitely dive into that one for sure.
Yeah, I just wondered if the lineage was that they had to have a bloodline of a Shadow Lord to be born a Timeborn.
That's an interesting thought, but like, I guess what you're also insinuating is that Jack is a Shadow Lord,
No, well, he's
or
got
can
the
it go
blood.
back multiple
It's the
generations? Is that your
bloodline.
point?
Well, it's the
I
Okay.
bloodline.
think it,
So it by dilution though. So like, if you had Lazarus, who was the father, and then Jack, who was the son, who is then Olivia's dad, then you know by dilution, because obviously you take half away each time, she has still got Shadow
yeah,
Lord blood.
the 25%.
So
Okay.
like twins, it just skips a generation.
Yeah, sort of. But then like Roman's dad, isn't he a Shadow Lord?
No, he's a darkness as
Or he's a
well. Amir.
darkness.
Yeah.
Amir is just a darkness, yeah. And then I guess if we go to the end of Rise of the Shadow Lords, when Lazarus and Salvatore create the Timeborns, but like they make the magic possible, but it's not like they're out there impregnating all of the women that then give
Right.
birth to the first Timeborns.
Exactly.
That would be a lot of work.
And we know Salvatore can't at that point in
Yeah.
time.
And I don't think Lazarus wants to.
Now he's got Amara stamped across his forehead.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mhm.
Like a tattoo on his arm.
Property of Amara.
Everywhere.
I don't know, I was just trying to work it out the other day. I thought there
Mhm.
was something to do with the bloodlines. That obviously there was the whole thing with Severin saying, was it Severin? No, the Shadow saying somebody from each of your bloodlines.
Will rise, yeah. It would be interesting to see if all of the Timeborns that we know about have either a Shadow Lord or a Darkness or another Timeborn in their lineage.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we're all normies, right? If like Sam and I got together and had a kid and it happened to be on that eclipse black hole event, would it be a Timeborn? Or would it not be a Timeborn because we don't have the right lineage? That would be actually an interesting question to ask.
Well, that was where my point was going, because obviously if they're not born during the eclipse, they are born by either a Timeborn, but also a darkness. Are they not then what's the other one? Where they get the dagger necklace and they have to put that inside the sword.
The time bound.
Yeah. So
The time bounds can only come from Timeborns,
Yeah.
but not born during the eclipse event.
yeah. So they're an even bigger dilution, sort of.
The steamy teenage makeout session in the Chariot Valet car park, featuring Roman's very obvious hardness. That word was used so much. Turns
the
into the
gun.
blue ball Sam mentions. When he is unexpectedly cock-blocked by something. So Patrick, could you tell us all about Roman's new
Cock-block?
problem?
Oh yes, absolutely. So obviously his little episode is interrupted by, let's guess, the darkness. So Olivia is paralyzed. She frantically goes right back to when she was 10 years old, paralyzed as she watched the man who murdered her mother. And she freezes, and Roman is like, "What are you doing? This guy's going to kill you." And she's like, "I don't know
What
what
is
I'm
wrong
doing.
with you?"
I'm yeah. Is there something wrong with you? Yeah. I'm done. I can't do this. I don't know." And she's like, "What the hell? No, I can't move. I can't. It's just kind of going crazy." And then obviously Roman tries to fight him, and it just disappears, and then it reappears. It's almost like what was that Mortal Kombat where the guy just kind of shows up right behind you, and it's like, hey, there I am. Oh, now he's gone again. Oh, there he is. It's like, would you please just stay
Right.
still so I could hit you? Um, and then it's really kind of funny because some of the things that kind of popped out to me was the fact that here's this darkness. It's a pulse of vibrating energy that surrounds me. It's pulsing with just this sinister energy. Um, it felt alive, vibrating with sadistic glee, that there's something there. And then all of a sudden, Roman pulls out his gun and it goes away. Just like that. And then he's like, "What are you doing? This is gonna kill you." Um, and so anyway, Olivia finally wakes up and she gets on Tempest and she's like, who are you? You don't even know who I am. And I mean, what do you mean you can protect me? I don't even know who you are anymore. I thought we just had this great opening time, this great time of getting to know each other, and now you pull all of this? What do you mean you know about the darkness? What do you mean you know about this? Who are you?
And you have a gun.
I just can't handle this. I'm gonna get on my horse and I'm gonna run away. So she runs away, she grabs Tempest and she tries to run away, and then obviously she gets to Roman's house and she bursts through the door and Amara's right there and she says, I just can't talk to you, Amara. And Amara grabs her with strength that froze me in place.
Yes, Amara, get her,
And
Brad.
she says, wait, tell me what happened. Maybe I can fix this, because now she can see it's starting to go into that ruin that she was trying to warn them about. It's like, wait a second, hold on. Let's see what's going on. So then obviously she just goes on and Olivia's just blah, blah, blah. He's just lied to me. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to talk about it. He can't protect. I just can't do this. And Roman's like, finally Roman gets up to her, catches her, and she's like, hey, I'm here to protect you. I know what's going on. The darkness found you. It found us. And then all of a sudden she's like, well, wait a second. You actually know about the darkness? Wait a second. You obviously know way more than I have. And then the gun didn't destroy it because he says, well, it just scared it away. Didn't kill it. It just scared it away. It only forced it to retreat. But now that it's found you, it's now found me. So great. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Now I have to worry about it. And but then of course the Armand and Isabel connection is right there, because he says, no matter what, you may hate me, if you can hate me all you want, but I will protect you whether you want me to or not.
Yes.
And then Olivia's like, fine, whatever. And then she just like, this is just crazy. I think really out of the biggest things out of this is the fact that, she now realizes, basically Roman leaves her to wallow in her pity, Oscar nomination number whatever for this book. And she looks down, she's, oh, this beautiful dress that Amara made for me, it's now ruined and it's tatters. I dropped to my knees in the sand and sobs just racked my body. There's your ugly cry. Just
exactly. She's an ugly girl.
snot bubbles, just the whole thing.
Poor me.
And then when the tears finally stopped, she was left with nothing but the sound of the waves and the cold, empty night. I'm
Poor
spent.
thing.
I'm spent. And
Also,
she
like,
stood
how
in front of
quickly
Roman's
she
house.
gives up as well.
Well, at
Yeah.
the very beginning, she's like, I just
ridiculous.
can't do this anymore. I just can't. I can't.
Yeah, right.
But
I would
Roman
like to
stood.
interrupt your summary real quick, Patrick, because I do
Yeah.
have a time sensitive question, because your summary is kind of leaving Olivia off on the beach in the rain, crying, woe is me, right? This is a movie scene, and I just want to ask everybody, what song is playing in the background with this?
That's a good question.
I don't know, but this makes me think of like Sweet Home Alabama when she runs away and she's on the beach crying because it hasn't gone her way.
So I can kiss you anytime I want to. I'm gonna go with a '90s rom-com answer, and or I guess it's technically early 2000s rom-com answer, but I just hear Closing Time playing in the background as Olivia's pouting on the beach, crying in the rain.
Yeah.
I'd have to look that one up. I can't remember that one.
No, I don't either.
Time.
Oh,
Na, 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 na,
it's
na,
closing
na,
time. Do 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 do. Okay.
So she is done with the crying. She's done listening to Closing Time. It's over and done with. We've now gone into it's now faded off into the memory. The sun has now come up and she decides to get up and she gets to walk. Her heart's been ripped out been ripped apart. And she just starts walking. And then all of a sudden she realizes that she's in front of Roman's house. And who is standing at the door but Roman?
Mhm.
He stood in the yard and his silhouette was stark against the sun. Blood still trickling down from the cuts from where he was fighting the darkness. And he says to her, You came home. And she didn't answer. She said, whatever, leave me alone. Again, Oscar nomination.
She's the
100%.
worst sometimes. I forgot how
She just needed silence. Just leave me alone. Talk to the hand.
She just had her alone time on the beach. Grow up.
Well, she was busy listening to Closing Time, apparently. So,
Yeah, I guess so.
I have
you know,
another choice
she
of
needed
song
silence.
for that.
She needed
I have another choice of song for that. Celine Dion, All Coming Back to Me.
Oh, snap.
yeah,
Okay.
That was a good
Yeah.
one.
That's it.
That's great. That's
I can
great.
see that one for sure.
She was
Yes,
just
my
bringing her,
left
her
hip
AirPods.
It's a
Does
very
anyone-
dramatic song too.
Does anyone wonder, did she bring her phone? She has a cell phone.
Where
Did
would
you
it have
guys
been in
ever
her
wonder?
sundress? Where would it have been in her
I mean-
sundress? I mean, was it in her bra?
In her
in
hand?
our bra. That's where mine
Yeah,
was.
Hey,
gonna go.
Patrick.
Yeah, in her
hey,
bra.
Patrick,
Yeah,
I don't know if you're aware, but women's clothing have pockets.
No, not dresses.
Not
We
all
have
of
most
to
them.
good
pay
dresses
so
don't.
much for that. We have to pay so much for dresses with pockets because
American
that is
Never
dresses
seen a
have
girl
pockets.
get super excited about the
European
fact that
does
their dress has
not.
pockets.
There is
It's
not
like-
a single article of clothing in my wife's closet that does not have pockets. I'm
well,
here to
she
tell you.
does that. She has to find dresses with pockets, and because they don't all come with them. No.
No,
I know it's
they
I know
really
it's a
don't.
recent addition. I know that, but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
My bra is
You
my
know.
pockets. I've got my keys in there. I've
I
got my
wouldn't
phone in
keep
there.
your-
AirPods are
I
in
would
there.
not keep your phone in your bra next to your breast.
ba-
I wouldn't do
The
that.
bag industry hates when there's pockets in our clothes because then they don't sell any bags.
Their
Oh.
purses, right?
And
that's
the
why
same
I-
with
That's why our
when we
jean
actually have
pockets is
pockets, then
smaller.
they're not as deep.
Yeah, our jean pockets are
That is
smaller.
true.
We don't have
Yeah, they're
We don't
so
front
small.
ones either. 9 times out of 10, you've just got the 2 back pockets, none of the front ones. See, look, women love pockets. I would love
Yeah,
my items of clothing to have pockets.
I just want to wear like work pants all the time because they have tons of pockets.
But I do think the question, does Olivia have a cell phone? It's inoperable, obviously.
Right.
Definitely in
Yeah,
roaming.
but did he bring it?
I've
I
never
know,
ever
but-
I'm
considered
actually
that.
just wondering right now because we were talking about the song.
She didn't
My
have a
assumption
purse
would
with
be
her
that
when
she'd
she
just leave it.
came. She
Leave
she
it in the car or leave it on
probably-
the table.
She
Yeah.
was in a struggle when she left, when she was thrown back into time. She did not have her phone in her hand or a purse or a bag. Her palm was cut and she was thrown back into time. There's no phone. She did not bring her phone with her.
Not in her
The-
bra.
The
just a
roaming
gun.
charges would be excruciatingly expensive.
Yeah. Would they not then be
I would
classed
have
as
brought
Roman
mine.
charges?
No, but
Do you ever
seriously,
think if she did have her phone on her and somebody went to the cops, like my friend Olivia disappeared. Can we track her cell phone? And it's just like it doesn't even exist in the database anymore. There is no tracking of this thing.
right?
Or she
Or
like
she
this.
pulls it out of her pocket and it's like a sundial or something. Just like,
Olivia, your phone is still in your pocket.
There's no pockets.
Okay.
Okay, I think
It's in your bra.
I would like
No,
to
but
ask you
seriously,
guys
ladies,
what
don't put your phone in your bra. That's not good for your breasts. That's got like,
No, but they do it all the
Hey.
time in Europe.
but you
I've
can't.
had to
That
sleep.
you shouldn't do that.
I've
It's
had
No,
to
not
I'm
sleep
not
this
doing it, but
for the last 3
everyone else
days.
is.
I
So
They
don't.
I
put
think
everything in
it's
there, keys, makeup, whatever.
it's fairly intuitive as to why it would be bad for your boobage. But could you actually maybe explain to me why it's bad for your boobage?
Because it's got a lot of the cellular waves and the
It's
Yeah.
meant to be some form of cause of cancer. If you put your phone near there,
yeah
it can
yes
cause breast cancer to appear because of
yeah
the
The
waves
radio
of
frequencies of the ultra high
Yeah,
frequency.
yeah.
the
yeah
waves.
yes.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not
Bluetooth
good.
and cellular waves and whatever.
Well,
Yeah,
Wi-Fi
it
thank
is.
waves.
heavens they made phones bigger because I'm pretty sure there was a good decade plus of my life that I had a cell phone in my front pocket next to
Yeah.
my
Oh,
goodies.
Well, I
look
will
at
say
But
my
that
this.
was
phone.
back then when you didn't know.
Do you see my phone? It
Oh, it's
opens
small.
up to a bigger screen,
You have
Yeah.
but
you've
it
got
is
a new phone
small,
Samsung.
so I can put it in my pocket.
in your pocket.
It can't go into European pocket. They're not that big.
They can go into my jeans pocket.
Yeah.
Pocket.
Well, we have like, I don't know, we can have next to nothing in them.
Oh
We can have like one coin or one small key. That's it.
A
no,
coin or a key. I love it.
no, I get
And
jeans
who
and
has coins?
Also, depending on how well endowed you are, depends on
Yeah.
the size of your pockets that you can use in your bra. Because if you've got slightly larger chest, then you have bigger surface area to put things. So I know
I
one of
know.
my
I'm
friends
just
used to have
saying
like
I wouldn't
vodka
do it.
bottles like lying underneath their boobs because she
Yeah.
could fit them.
This has devolved so severely.
I was going to say this would.
I'm just giving a service announcement.
You asked about
help.
phones in pockets.
Yes.
So Matt, what I'm hearing is the fact that we need to create a bra that has a cell phone safe pocket in it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Is it RS?
And then it has no connection.
There must be a market for that. And given the state of contemporary men, I bet you we could make one for dudes too.
Yes, for sure.
And then nobody's gonna be reachable because it's just blocking all the signals.
Listen, we need to move on. But
Yeah.
We
before we move
definitely
on,
do.
we're just gonna have one more moment of joke because when I transitioned into this chapter and used the word cock-glock, and then Patrick started summarizing, our dear Sam sent a message to the group chat and just said that she has the word cock-glocked stuck in her head now. And isn't that just amazing?
From blue balls to
Best
cock
word
block. There
ever.
we go.
Best word ever.
Sam, I love the way your mind works, okay?
Me too.
And she sent gun emojis with a pew pew.
It was wonderful.
Trying
It's
so
just
Yes, I'm
hard.
perfect.
keeping this in the
I had
episode.
to
All
put
right.
my mute on and I had to get the pillow because I was like, I can't. It's just
I gotta find it.
That's hilarious.
Olivia returns home well, I guess she returns back to Romans from her second attempt to run away, slowly becoming the girl that cried independence.
Yeah.
And on her bed, her dagger and her Glock are waiting for her. So
Pretty
Olivia
much.
does what any of us would do, right?
Good job.
She gets naked and cuddles her weapons like teddy bears so she can take a nap.
Yep, of course.
And when she wakes up, she's just sort of generally confused, mad, sad, turned on, turned off, turned on again, all of the feelings, right? So
Right.
she decides to go help Amara with chores because chores help you deal with the turns. And then she gives Roman the most epic, but also the most tedious of silent treatments ever. It seems to be her old standby.
She
And
is.
this goes on for nearly a week until Roman comes home from work one day with an announcement. And I'll get to the announcement to close out the episode. But I know I've harped on this whole like Amara knows everything that's going on.
But
And her
she
entire
does.
existence in ancient Rome is to make sure that Isabel and Armand are reunited in their new lives. But two things happen in this chapter with Amara that make me all want to ask you all one single simple question.
Okay.
Olivia asks Amara when the next full moon is,
Oh yeah.
and Amara, it says, her hands stilled for a moment before she turned to look at me, her brow furrowed in curiosity.
But
It's 2 weeks from now. And
yep.
then Amara wants to know if there's anything important happening at the full moon. And Olivia lies and says, nope. Her silence stretched for a beat longer than I was comfortable with before she, meaning Amara, returned to her task and says, well, if you need anything, just let me know. So here's what I want to ask everybody. Do we think that Amara knows the chant to create time travel?
Oh.
And did she just offer to tell Olivia what it is if Olivia would only effing ask?
I think she probably knows the chant. I do not think she would tell Olivia because she's supposed to keep her there with Roman.
Well, it's funny that you
But you
asked
can
that
live
because
with her.
in my note from that, it's an open-ended question, and it says, "What would she share with or give Olivia?" If there's anything you need, just let me know. It's like, well,
Anything?
I think that's her way of
Oh.
saying. I
I
think
don't
that's
know
her.
where to start.
I think that's her way of saying, like, if there's anything you want to tell me, like she wants Olivia to admit that she's a time traveler.
It's a little
I
bit
don't
like
think
what
she
Roman did.
necessarily. I don't know if she necessarily knows the chant, but I think she knows where to get the information from.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, she might not know by
Yeah.
heart.
No, I
I
mean
agree.
like Lazarus and that, if she
Yeah.
thinks it's being derailed slightly, she can just be like, oh, like just tell me and I'll help you out however I can, and then run to Lazarus and be like, dude, like help.
I'm sure after all the stuff she's been through, she has it written down.
Maybe she just knows it by heart.
Or that.
I don't. Roman doesn't ever mention it because isn't it Marcellus at the end of the book that says the chant?
Yeah.
Or he says it at some
Roman
point.
doesn't know it either.
He says it at some point, and Olivia's like, "Oh, I know that from somewhere," and then she's the one that says it right at the end.
What do you mean at some point? It's when he's holding her captive, chained to a bed that she soiled. What do you mean at some point? Come on,
We have
Sam.
I was leaving it
Sam
with
has a
her.
Sam, Sam's
Move
still thinking about
ahead.
getting Cock-Glocked, pew pew,
Yeah, but let's
so
not talk about that yet.
Pew,
pew pew.
Gun fingers.
I think it's just a headcanon now, Sam, that like in later chapters when Olivia and Roman are getting it on, that's how Roman finishes. He's just like, pew, pew.
That's right.
We're
I
just
think-
summarizing those chapters, and then we were like, pew, pew.
Pew, pew. And then Roman
I
pew, pewed
can't.
everywhere.
That's
So
Sometimes my brain just does things and it's like, yeah, no.
We love it. Well, I
We
love
love it. We do love it, Sam.
on the last page where it says, at dawn, his eyes flicked to mine and our gazes locked for the first time in days because they were asking, when do we leave? And then something passed between us, a flicker of unspoken words, of emotions too tangled to name. It was over in a heartbeat, but it left me breathless. And I was like, well, like what? Was it their love? Or was it the history they have with war? As Isabel and Armand? I'm like, what was it that something passed between them in a flicker of unspoken words? And maybe that's
think
just
we'll
me
have to
reading
find
into
out.
it, or
I kind of read it like it was just everything.
Yeah, me too.
Wasn't it also Amara who insisted on Olivia
going,
joining them?
yes.
Because
Yeah,
she
'cause
wasn't
she-
necessarily like
yeah,
Amara
yeah.
was.
Yeah, she goes, "Well,
Amara
what
was picked by Roman, being like, "Now you have to come because the Emperor's asked you, like, for the healing purposes," and that would have meant that Olivia was left by herself, and she's the one going, "No, no, no! I need like backup."
Well, and that's just it. And maybe not in the newer version, but the older version, it says, Olivia says, well, what about me? Am I just supposed to stay here alone? And the picture I have in my hand is her stomping her feet, like a little child, like a brat again. What about me? Am I just supposed to stay here alone? Yeah,
Brat
exactly.
again.
So,
See, I had like Kevin from Home Alone.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And she
Perfect.
said, I hated how childish I sounded, but the thought of losing both Roman and Amara to this war clawed at my chest with icy fingers. And that's when Amara was like, oh no,
Lord.
you're to accompany me as my assistant because every healer needs helpers. So,
Olivia, you're coming to Scotland, if you know what I mean.
Yay.
Pew, pew, pew,
Coming
pew.
is offer to work.
Our story comes to a pause as Roman tells Amara and Olivia that they are all going away to war. And next time we'll be sailing to Scotland where things get super steamy and other things change forever as we dissect chapters 22 through 31 of Timeborne. But for now, the archives are closed. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Well, yeah.
yeah.